Hey guys. The first video I recorded for you all was called Fuck Integration, which I had a bit of fun recording. It might have been because I was still a little bit drained and tired from the festival, um, but also just a bit of rebellion against the tidy, neat idea of integration and actually feeling like it's way more complex than that. And even the idea of integration can get in the way of your freedom and liberation and expansion and goodness and all these things. And having said that, it's also useful in many ways and has been useful for me. And I want to share a few different takes on it. I've always most liked the idea that circling kind of cleans your window, cleans the glass of your perceiving, and because of that, in a way, there isn't anything to integrate. You're just going to see a load of things more clearly, and that might take some integration because you're seeing things more clearly. Marisha and Ellen often talk about the expansion and contraction, and I think that fits for me this time of like expanding so much during the festival. It's like the biggest event of the year for me, and I put a lot of work into the build-up and rightly or wrongly kind of throw myself right off the edge and give everything I possibly can during the festival. And it does feel like there's been a contraction after that for me, and I've been heavy and drained, but also almost like I've been carrying something from the festival. I'm not sure what, maybe just how many cool experiences there were, and rich, deep experiences and openings, and like not wanting to lose any of that, wanting to make sure it comes into my life, which I trust it is and will. And then the last thing I'll offer is, I remember when I first went to America to learn circling about 8 years ago, and it wasn't just circling. I had an amazing month planned of retreats and things like that. And I had so many incredible experiences in that month. And when I got home, there was like, I'd passed a tipping point of like the peak experiences that I had. There was no going back from, in a way. It was like they were so real, they were so rich. I'd seen things now that I knew I couldn't forget, even if I wanted to. And there was a sense of a guy called Mark Michael Lewis showed me this graph of the great mindfuck, which is like, we have these peak experiences, and then there's like, that go up here, and then there's like our human capacities, and we can never actually reach those like in a permanent way. And that was quite a relaxing, fun way to hold it all. But at the same time, the other thing he said was something around gearing, like making all your commitments and gearing your life around what you experience in those peak experiences, and having a dedicated program of commitment towards honoring what you know in the deepest part of your heart to be true. And at that period of time when I got back, I was so determined to be on the most rigorous like program I could be, that was really like the idea of practice, essentially, like to honor, to engage in practice, to honor the most transcendent things that we've experienced, and to honor that we can't always live up to that, so we engage in practice. And I know there can be a limited view even with this as well, because it can again just be getting in the way of our awakeness to the moment and how alive every moment is, and the opportunity to be completely full and free and perfect in a way. But at the same time, that I think it did a lot for me in terms of developmentally, like spending months of committed practice, having coaching and doing particular body work and meditating each day, and really finding the practices that I knew were going to take me to the next stage based on what I'd seen. And I hope for something like that for you guys, because I do see people have crazily cool experiences in circling and then not capture all the goods that they could from it. That's why I'm speaking to this now. And that can take any form and any practice, essentially. And this is the other thing I wanted to broach, and I find it difficult. Like, I don't want to sell my courses just for the sake of selling Circling Europe courses. And I see people who are dedicated to the practice and see people who are dedicated to the practice gain a lot over time. And I also see people get crazily good experiences and have no idea as to why that happened and no understanding of the framework that I would say we've created that makes those kind of experiences most possible, like the method behind the madness, so to speak. And I want to make that more visible so that people are aware that that's there and that there is a very detailed and rigorous and long developmental pathway linked and connected to circling and surrendered leadership, and what it is to circle well, what it is to integrate the principles into your life, what it is to live a life of surrender, and what it is to lead these practices. I want that to be known, that pathway that we've laid down, and I really don't care that much if you choose our pathway. But yeah, there's a lot that we have. We have an online course, which I would say is more if you really want to get a bit more information and like step-by-step stuff for what circling is and what the practices are and what the principles are and the ideas behind it, while at the same time engaging in practice, having group practice and one-on-one practice and coaching in support of your experience of circling. That's possible in our online course. If you just want to drop into a circling space more, then I'd recommend Circle Anywhere. 3 sessions a day, online every day, with highly skilled facilitators taking you straight into surrendered leadership or birthday circles, and it works online. The only thing missing is touch, which is a big thing, but you can have crazily deep experiences online and experience magic online, which really shocks a lot of people. The other is weekend events, and that you can find out on our website. And then the biggest one that I'm the most of a advocate for is our SAS training, which is the 6-month deep dive into the paradigm of circling and surrendered leadership. And it's a chance to immerse deeply in the magic of circling, to get the basics and to go to the advanced and to learn to lead it well, even if you don't want to be a leader of circling, and essentially to go on a transformational journey to seriously develop yourself and grow, because we can only take others as deep as we've gone ourselves. So if you are interested in leading, deepening yourself, I would say, is the best thing you can do for that. And a lot of you want to deepen anyway, and it's a transformational course for that. And we've got lots of those coming up, one in Amsterdam in September, Bali in October, San Francisco early next year, and lots of others coming, London in April. Other than that, I really wish you well, and hope that the cool experiences you had at the circling are living on in you and have space. And yeah, it was an absolute honour and joy and wild, challenging experience to be with you all. Yeah, lots of love.